priests who claim that this is an unfair arrest. The National Investigating Agency raiding the residence and picking up Father Stan Swamy, 83-year-old from Ranchi, for his alleged involvement in the case. Now, Swamy's supporters have hit the streets. They claim that he has all his life been a tribal activist but never been involved in anything that can be described as unlawful. They've also released a pre-recorded statement of the priest where he claims he has never even been to Bhima Koregaon near Pune. It's our other big story tonight.
Father Stan Swamy, an 83-year-old tribal rights activist from Jharkhand, is among the 8 people booked by the NIA in its supplementary charge sheet in the Bhima Koregaon violence case. The others include Anand Teltumbre, Gautam Navlakha, Hani Babu and Milind Teltumbre. Activists are up in arms against the manner in which Stan Swamy was arrested from Ranchi. The NIA, which had raided Jesuit priest in August 2018 and June 2019, knocked on his doors a third time on Thursday. This time the NIA picked him up, kept him in a guest house before flying out Friday morning without producing him in a local court. Ironically, Swamy, in a recorded statement released after his arrest, says he has never visited Bhima Koregaon in his life.
In this case, it so happened the Bhima Koregaon, a place that I have never been to in all my life. I was implicated there. I was raided twice. First it was done by Pune police, then it was forcibly taken over by NIA.
The NIA in its charge sheet has accused Swamy of Maoist links. Swamy in his statement has rejected the charges.
They started to put before me certain extracts which were, Maoists were communicating with each other. And in some extracts, even my name was mentioned. I just denied and disowned every single extract that was put before me, except one, where Sudha Bharadwaj and myself, we were the co-conveners.
Economist John Rees, who is widely hailed as the brain behind Manrega and Right to Food Security, turned the arrest arbitrary.
We are protesting against the arbitrary and brutal arrest of Father Stan, who is an elderly person who is not in good health and is being arrested without any evidence of any crime. So the protest is not only against the arrest of Father Stan, but also in the laws, about the laws that are being used against him and may be used tomorrow against any citizen who disagrees with the government's policies and stands up for justice.
The case dates back January 1st, 2018, when lakhs of Dalits gathered near Pune to mark the 200th anniversary of the Battle of Bhima Koregaon, which was won by the British Army comprised of Dalit soldiers. The event had sparked tensions with upper castes and violence.
Protesters are explicitly saying, and they admit, that if you speak against the policy of government and if you don't see, if you are not with the policy of government, you will be falsely fabricated, and this is what has been done in the case of Father Stan Swamy. With camera person Rakesh Tiwari, this is Satyajit Kumar in Ranchi for India Today.
And let me raise a big question tonight. Is the arrest of an 83-year-old, and I keep stressing on the age of Father Swamy because he has spent a lifetime working among tribal groups in Jharkhand and other parts of the country. Is it an arrest, a misuse of the law? Is it gross violation of human rights? Are these questions that we should be asking or not in this country? Because clearly, to go and pick up an 83-year-old and then link him to the Bhima Koregaon violence raises several questions. I also want to make one clarification, because I have with me Father Cedric Prakash, another human rights activist, and I had asked for a representative to come from the police either in Maharashtra or at the center. They were not willing to come and explain the reason why Father Swamy has been arrested in the manner he has. So with that clarification, I want to ask you, Father Cedric Prakash, the fact is the charge sheet itself claims that Father Swamy was in some way helping financing Maoists. So they are linking the financing of Maoists to the violence that took place in Bhima Koregaon and suggesting that the likes of Father Swamy were financing Maoist activities in Jharkhand and beyond. How do you respond?
Ranjit, this is absolutely ridiculous. A citizen of India, an 83-year-old man who has given his life for the Adivasis, who has worked for them, for their rights with passion, wanted for them the jungle or jameen, roti kapda or makan, and today fabricated cases are being put on him. For 15 hours he has been grilled over a period of days. He has been interrogated. They have found absolutely nothing wrong. So where does Stan get his money? Some months ago, they took all his personal possessions. It was practically nothing. He was living a very, very frugal life. And how can, these are all fabricated things. They have reached a ridiculously low level.
No, why would they fabricate it against Father Swamy? Why would Father Swamy be seen as someone whom the NIA, the country's premier investigation agency when it comes to so-called anti-terror activities, why would they arrest an 83-year-old? What is the nature of the vendetta they would have against Father Swamy?
See, I guess it's very difficult to try to understand why they are doing it. But many of us civil society people feel that they would want to. There's so much of fear in the country today. Everybody knows that. And once you try to incarcerate a person like Stan Swamy, okay, you have literally kind of created a fear psychosis among the tribals you are serving, among the Adivasis. They have been fighting for their rights. He has been supporting them. And if they can do it to him, so the basic message is being sent out to the others, we can do it to any one of you tomorrow. And this is, I think, a very, very serious, a very painful message sent to the people of India today.
In the Bhima Koregaon case, one strand is of various individuals who have worked very hard in Adivasi areas, the likes of Professor Sudha Bhardwaj, for example, who's been in jail for more than two years, that all of them in some form or the other, according to the police charge sheet, were inciting people, giving provocative speeches over the years, and have conspired with the Maoists, either through funding them or financing them. And the allegation against Father Stan Swamy is that he was actively involved in the activities of the CPI Maoists and was in contact with these conspirators, that this was a grand conspiracy that eventually led to loss of life and property in Bhima Koregaon. How do you respond to this conspiracy theory which is being woven?
See, this conspiracy theory can be said about anyone at any time. Once again, I'm saying this is a very sad state of affairs. I have friends from across the board. Just because a friend commits a crime, that doesn't make me complicit with the crime of that person. Where, it's far away. Or even if I've got an email from them, that doesn't mean. And today, the people whom they have been putting in jail, the likes of Sudha Bharadwaj, Anantal Tumde, Vernon Gonsalves, Arun Ferreira, the people from the Kabir Kala bunch, are people who have stood up for the rights of people. Basically, the message being sent is not about you're supporting them financially, involved with the terrorist activities of these so-called groups, which is, I think, fabricated. But you're taking a stand for the legitimate rights of the people, which the Constitution of India guarantees, and which all of us have a right, to be supporting.
Okay.
So,
fair enough, Father. You've, in a sense, suggested that this is therefore a complete overreach of the law and totally unfair. You believe that this is an attempt being made to silence dissent and critical voices. Unfortunately, as I said, the police was unwilling to come. I appreciate you joining me, though. I just want to, as I end on this segment, quote what Ramchandra Guha has said today. Like Sudha Bhardwaj, Stan Swamy has spent a lifetime fighting for the rights of Adivasis. That is why the regime seeks to suppress and silence them, the Modi regime, because for this regime, the profits of mining companies take precedence over the lives and livelihoods of Adivasis is the charge that is being made. So clearly, again, this has pitted government versus activists.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.